Check. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Ooh, sorry about that. Sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. We have Solana bouncing back up for 12%. Litecoin taking the cake, getting ready for that halving in 229 days. Litecoin's halving is not far away, really, when you think about it. So we're coming up on that halving for Litecoin. We're going to break it down for you today. We're going to give you the news. We're going to just show you all sorts of different things. But first, we're going to show you the charts. Show me the charts and I'll show you the news. Shout out to all the beautiful lifers here. Shout out to everybody on the live. Thank you for being here, back for the new year. We're going to start with that lemon water every single morning. I have a jar of that lemon water, right? And it is what it is. You got to love the lemon water if you're going to be with me, baby. And if you, maybe you're allergic to lemon, so God forbid, but it may happen. I'm sure there's someone out there. I still love you. It's nothing better than cleansing the pineal. Getting ready. I worked out today. Wasn't too hard. A little bit of a manny workout. Just getting back into it. I do admit it wasn't the hardest I could have gone, but I still worked out. Yesterday, we talked about this inverted head and shoulder, right? We looked at it on the 15 and the 1 hour time frame. Looked pretty scrumptious to me. It did break up to that slight measured move, came back down for the retest, and would blast to the upside. Then it would make a bit of a flag. The flag would break out and break back down crazily, following probably Bitcoin's volatility. All right. But here we go again. Stock markets are closed. Yet again, it just seems to drag on until we get back to regular markets. But still, we called this yesterday. We talked about it. So, one of the best traders in my group, all legs, no torso. Shout out to you. May God bless you. She was like, I'm all over Litecoin. Look at the volume coming in. I took a gander at it, saw this inverted head and shoulder. We looked at it in the trader group. This thing would blast to the upside. I know we don't have the liquidity to do that. Litecoin is a very large coin. This is technical analysis playing out, right? So right off the bat, I'm just showing you something that we looked at yesterday. And again, we're not trying to be big shots here. We're not trying to say, oh, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's not that amazing. It's an inverted head and shoulder that breaks up 68% of the time. Just understand the basics and begin to drive with us, baby. It's like a driving course. If you don't know where a stop sign is, if you don't know a yellow light, how are you going to drive through a city? Let us help you, teach you the driving signs. You can drive through technical analysis. The class is every single Tuesday. Tomorrow, I teach my first class of 2023. Can't wait to see you in there. $99 if you're not in the trading group. If you want to join the trading group, it's only $60. We give you a 40% discount. You can pay with cryptocurrency or PayPal. Jump on in today. Email cryptolifers@gmail if you want to jump on into the class. All right, so this is how we figured out how Litecoin was likely to break to the upside. Also a bit of a cup and a handle there. Sammy, cup and Hattie to the upside. Bit of a cup here. This is what we call a cup, like a rounded bottom. Here's your handle. And again, cup and handles are violent to the upside. There's your cup, there's your handle, blast off. And this is the science that I teach. That's why they call me Sammy Cup and Handy in the crypto sphere. All right, we talked about CTC. It was on my radar. Why? I mean, this is going to make you laugh, but it was in a Sammy Cup and Handy to the upside. And people laugh about this stuff, but look, and I also draw my fib, and I teach the 706 fib as well in my trading group. And look at the 706 Fibonacci there. And boom. How to enter the 706 fib, we'll teach you that in the trading group. These are things you need to know. If you don't, if you keep losing, if you're not using fib, if you're not using supportive resistance, if you don't know what the VRVP is, you continuously losing money. You don't know how to use moving averages. We're going to help you. We're going to help you. You need the education. Stop throwing money in the drain. Start putting money into your education. All right, get it done. CTC boomed up for 32%. Another coin that I put out, we talked about, we went over it on the weekly screen share. We talked about it. This coin has been something we've gone over. CTC. My man Ray Ambler wants to go over Link USDT and send in a super chat. Keep the super chats rolling. It's fun when they come in. $1, $2. They don't have to be a lot. I'm not asking for tons of money here. It's just the movement. It just creates a cool, fun movement. The colors, I like it. Send in your super chat today to be part of the show. Let's take a look at Link USDT. I'm saving Bitcoin for a couple minutes just to keep up. You know, you can feel it, right? I'm just building up. Building that anticipation. Let's take a look at Link. The first thing I do when I look at a coin is look at like the 3-day chart. Sometimes, you know, now it's more like the weekly. The older I get, the longer and the bigger the chart I look at. When I first started, I would look at maybe a 4-hour or a daily. But now I can see the bigger picture at play, right? So right off the bat, I mean, this is a bit of a flag. Flip it upside down, you kind of, you know, bull flag, bear flag, okay? Could that break to the downside? There's a chance. I'm just looking at the measured move. I'm not saying this is guaranteed. Brings it to negative 3.3. I like when the measured move takes me to a negative place. Usually tells me it's not likely to happen, right? And I've seen that before. We do have a point of control at 240. Do we capitulate down to 248? There's a chance that's your more conservative measured move, and it lines up with the VRVP. Do we go lower for Chainlink is the question. You know, staking came out, gave it a bit of a boost. I thought it would be way bigger of a boost and be more sustainable through December. Wasn't the case, you know? And that's why you don't do what you think you do. You know, that's what I thought, but it didn't really matter. I looked at the charts, right? You see your main level of resistance here because you have resistance, bounce, bounce. You fell through, bounce. Once you broke that, you had one last layer, you capitulated down. And look, here's your next layer that you bounce from because that's your resistance. You lose that, you're likely to fall down to that next level. And that's how the point of control comes in. It lines up with your consolidated area of volume. It's very simple. These are just like, essentially, you would hit these if you did meticulous supportive resistance. You would likely hit the high volume nodes, but you wouldn't understand why price action decided to choose one over the other. You know, what the VRVP does is gives you the supportive resistance and tells you where price is like to the T likely to move. I like to move a J here right to that moment. And you can see there's a big resistance there too at 1997. I remember I talked about Chainlink at $1.74 on my channel. Went over it, kept talking about it. It would go all the way to $52. Chainlink, what a monster. About a 25x, 20, you know, something like a 22x. And if you got it at $1, man, Chainlink. Good morning, everyone. Shout out to Lifer Friend. Shout out to Toby Linares. Shout out to DK. Shout out to Anku Kutsibutu. Shout out to CNC Ireland. And you know, we all get stressed. We're human. But you take a deep breath and you realize, you know, that you only have so much time on this earth. And everything, see, opposition. We're going to talk about opposition in a second. I'm going to finish and go into Bitcoin, but I have something to talk about. I got some cool thing I brought out. Whenever I'm taking a shower, I'm telling you, I take a shower in the morning and I get an idea. And it's all, even when the 5-minute shower, I get these ideas in the 5-minute shower. And there's something about it. People say they get ideas in the shower. I don't know what it is, the water, something goes on. I love the little dinosaur where it all began. You gotta love that. Did you miss that? So our daily time frame does want to bounce. Everything wants a bit of a bounce here. Saying, hey, we need a bounce. I don't see a strong divergence though. So we may bounce, but how big? You know, and now we have a key resistance here that you can see was formed. A local resistance. Why do I say local? Well, I mean, we have all these big areas. We're looking at weekly, daily. This is just a small area that has to be conquered before we can get anywhere. It's the local. Very similar to, say, all the other price action here is a highway. But to get on the highway, you have to leave your house and get onto the little street and take a small street to a small street. Hopefully, if you don't live on a highway, some people do in Queens, you can live basically right out, like outside of the BQE and look at it while cars ride by. Some people like that. I guess I would not. I didn't live far from the BQE when I lived in Queens for 10 years, though. So, I mean, there's the divergence. That's a Class C divergence. Swing down to swing down. That swing isn't as hard, but that's like the closest, but it is a divergence. And it could get us at a push, but at the end of the day, you got to see Bitcoin close a candle above the resistance. Link at 612. You don't get above 612, you got nothing going. But you do have this falling wedge, right? You do have a bullish divergence. Let's see if Link can get the move with the daily. Check our 22-hour time frame. Already got a bit of a move and really is extended. I would have liked to see more momentum from there. You know, in my lifetime, once the 22-hour gets that far, I'd like to see more momentum, but it doesn't mean we can't see a bigger push. You know, you could backtest where we were here, and we did get a massive push up as we double topped up there, so anything could happen. So in my mind, get above 612, come up, retest 612, and I would like to dig in to some chain link for some swing trades, but only until I see that move above. And again, you know, the aggressive move was last night to play that divergence there. 1 hour time frame is also in a rising wedge, seeing some bit of a rejection. And remember, that can come down and do a bit of a double bottom. So, you're looking for this to double bottom possibly out the rising wedge. So what you want is you want to see the 1 hour complete a cycle on the stochastics, RSI technically, here or here, and stay inside a bit of a flag and show signs of a breakup into that area that we're talking about. You know, can it make a vast shoulder head and a bigger inverted to break up to as well? We'll be watching for these three signs. Main thing I'm going to watch and focus on is the flag here. All right. You also want to get above the 200 SMA here on the 1 hour time frame. You get above that could change your tune. Right now, you're getting rejected by the 200 SMA. Learn and understand how the moving averages change the science. And I don't use exponential. I use the same ones over and over again, and they give me the signal. Like, look at the resistance there from the 200 SMA. Okay. Again, I teach this to my students all the time. Tight moving averages with the 200 separated. Price action is likely to what? Gravitate up to the 200 SMA. That's in a flag. The flag broke to the upside. Look at that. Boom. Okay. Tight moving averages. When the 200 is away, you gravitate towards it. It's just like when you're dumping. Let me flip this upside down for you. I'm going to blow your mind. Just like when you say you're pumping nicely, the 21 gets away from the 200. What happens? You pump down, and where do you go? You go down to the 200 SMA. Same thing. Understand that you can learn from the longs and you can short them by reverse psychology. It's all there. The markets have showed you how to trade. You just didn't know it. I can teach you how to data mine, how to make more out of what's in the charts than what's already there. That's the skill I want to teach you. See, everyone's trying to slam TA down your throat and they're and stuff like that. And I get it. I'm doing, I do some of the same things. But I'm trying to change your mentality and show you how you can get things out of the charts. I want to change the way you think for the rest of your life. I want you to think back on my mentorship and be like, man, that man opened up my mind to a whole new level of thought, right? That's my key. That's what I'm attempting to do with all this TA, with the trading group. All right? So you can become your best version of yourself and do great things with your life. Invite me to your mansion. Invite me to your, the wing, when you open up the wing at whatever hospital you're opening, or maybe whatever center of new age health center you're doing, whatever you're doing to change the world, I want to be there. One of my loyal lifers wants to make a rehab with his wife, right? And that's his goal, to get financially free so he can make a rehab with his wife, right? That's what he's going for. And I want to be there at the opening of that rehab. Like, I want to be invited to that, and I want to show up to that and spend a weekend at, these are the dreams that I have. Seeing the people accomplish their dreams and being a part of their dreams. It would be an amazing, amazing thing to do. So, So Bitcoin didn't dump. Now, to me, it was likely to go sideways or to the downside based on probability. Just based on probability, right? It did get the pump to the upside. Cool. And we did have kind of, look, a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. You had an inverted head and shoulder. So a lot of times, right, no matter what happens, you just play the simple idea, right? But this was a rising wedge. We did get the breakdown as suggested. Then we see we were low on the 1 hour. I suggested a pump. I thought the pump, most lackluster. We did get above the 200 SMA on Bitcoin, which is a good sign. That's the first step of at least trying to dig out of a hole. You get above the 200 SMA. Now we need to stay above it and get tight moving averages. All right. Now we need to stay above it and get tight moving averages. Let's do an objective chart. Start fresh on a Monday morning. Oh, I see a flag there. You see that? So right off the bat, I see a little bit of a bull flag for Bitcoin, right? And I got a measured move, and I'm above the 200 SMA. All right, which is likely, likely create some bullish movement. Bots love being above the 200 SMA. All right, the 21 is crossed. We're looking for the 50 to cross the 200. Only on the 1 hour. It's not amazing, but a golden cross is better than nothing, right? We have this giant bowl that we formed. So we did form this bowl. You can kind of see the shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Swing a neckline here. And we did get the move for the breakout, right? Not all the way, but eventually we will. And then you'll say, oh, hit the measured move, but the flag breaks to the upside. Want to see the 15-minute oversold and pushing up? We do. I'd like to see this. This is what I was looking for. That's why I said it before I saw it, just to see if it would catch. That's how you know you've been trading a long time. If you're wanting a scenario that you're looking for and then you see it. And so, and there's nothing crazy here. Guaranteed. We have a resistance formed at 1671, 1670. We got to break back above this, hit the measured move. And again, like I've been saying over and over again, we got to get a daily candle close back above 17,300, 17K. Like, we still have major resistance here. There's nothing to write home about. All right? It's not, oh, yeah. It's not amazing. Let's see what the 50-minute can do here on low liquidity. With the stock market closed, anything is possible. Granted, we could be waiting on a short squeeze to the upside, right? 7-minute Hail Mary, right? That's already been extended. Says we're likely just going to go sideways for a bit here before a bigger pump. But the 50-minute looks legit. Could flip that 1 hour. See, when you got the 4 hours spent like that and you're in a bit of a rising way, yeah, that's ugly too. And we could even say it's still inside. Could you say, no, I want to say you broke out of that bigger wedge. That's legit. It's a very whack pattern, though. There you go. And I'm saying, hey, why wouldn't we come and test this area here at 16,127? All right. That's just what I'm thinking about. All right. Heavy resistance in this area is still confirmed. Put your big girl and your big boy pants on. That's big boy and big girl resistance right there. All right. We got to get back above that, and we still got big boy resistance up here in 18,300 still looms. So great that we broke out of that trend line. I'm happy, but I'm still not buying the move. I'm really not. And I'm seeing tweezer tops on the 4 hour, and I'm overbought. So this is also a rising wedge. So let's take away what did happen. That flag's still valid, but on the 4 hour, look, I got a rising wedge. And rising wedges break down 68% of the time at resistance. So below a point of control on the bigger time frame, 16,800, right? And that 16,800 looms. Still below the 200 SMA. Do we move up to it? There's a chance we do. We're getting tight moving averages. We get above it, a few candles close, I'll change to a long. The 200 SMA on the 4 hour really, really will be the tone of the trade. Okay. But right now, I'm still bearish unless we can get something cooking on the 15-minute. I'll give the 15-minute its respect. But once that 15-minute rolls over and this starts to come down and I see that the momentum is done, could easily end up being an M pattern here on the smaller time frame, and we could begin to roll over. So I'm not buying it yet, and I just gave you kind of all my scenarios. Okay. One thing we got to look at is the total market cap. Are you watching the total every single day or every other day, at least a couple times a week? You got to take a gander at the total market cap, because you'd be making huge ideas and plots and plans. So look, we saw this before it happened. We saw this rising wedge here. Also, they won't let me go back in time on this asset. But we were right here. And, we knew that looked like a likelihood of a break to the downside. Right? And lo and behold, we got it. And where are we going to go? To where we spiked here, fell through, came back up. So I made this, do we double bottom? And then we attempted an actual double bottom here in the grander double bottom. All right. Look at the inverted head and shoulder, head and shoulder broke to the upside. Beautiful, right? The 4-hour also had bullish divergence, flatness here with a swing down, and we got the push back up. 766, not amazing. I'm not loving it. The level that must be taken back is 775. All right, just like I knew it was 800 before. Once we lost it, it was over, and now it's 807. Look, this point of control still looms. We did go down to the lower leg of liquidity, which is a good sign. We tested these levels. But if we can't get back through here, we're likely to head lower again. So, total market cap needs to jettison itself at least up to the 200 SMA, get rejected, hang out here, and attempt to get back above the 200 SMA. Once it gets above the 200 SMA, everything will change. That's the signal I'm looking forward to long. If I don't get that, I don't believe there's going to be too much opportunity for long swing trades. And I would remain short. Okay. These little pumps are great. Like we saw Litecoin, it's okay to swing trade the 1 hour and the 4 hour on an inverted, but it's in and out scenarios. It's not like a couple day hold. It's not a swing trade. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say to do should be taken as financial advice. Please get yourself a financial advisor. What am I using here? Well, if you take the class every single Tuesday from 3 to 5:30, I'm going to teach you that. Like the VRVP, the volume range visual profile. Or what happens when price action gets back above the 200 SMA on the 4 hour time frame. Or how the MACD moves in conjunction with the moving averages. Or how the RSI is your telltale sign to tell the future when in conjunction with price using divergences. Or how the stochastics RSI can be your leading indicator to when to get in and get out of a trade depending on momentum and confluence with support and resistance. All these things can come into play and change the way you look at a trade. When will Bitcoin make a move to the upside? I'm going to be able to tell you. I can't tell you the exact date when, but I'm pretty confident I'm going to be able to figure out when or how it's going to happen. So look at this daily. Daily is pointing up, but as I showed you before, the levels that we need to get above, we can watch here on the 4 hour. Once we get above those, okay, we can begin to build on the bigger time frames. But until the 4 hour can get back above that 200 SMA, until we can break back above 775, there's really nothing to talk about, in my humble opinion. Okay. These are good moves. I'm saying it's better than dumping. But they could be short-lived rallies. Jasmy getting a bit of a pump to the upside, just following the market. As you can see, the total market cap, right? Now you can kind of get more of an idea of what's happening in the market. Uppo. We saw that little flag. It was just pumping. Gave it all back. But, that's why you draw Fibonacci. Watch how creepy this is going to be. If you hit Alt-F and you go from the bottom to the top here, look where we bounced. Where? Anybody? Basically, a little bit below the 706 Fibonacci level. This is key. In my trading group, you're going to learn the 706, things that most people do not know around the markets. Shout out to my man CTC, still grinding, holding its gains of 22% in the game. That was a bit of a shoulder head and a shoulder, a messy one, or a bit of a cup with a handle there that bounced to the upside as well, inside the bigger cup and handle. Also, the Fibonacci bounced right below the 706, then came and bounced really right in between. Gone, baby, gone. Moonwell. What a funny name for a coin. Moonwell. Reminds me of Chest Rockwell. Look, shoulder, head, and shoulder to the upside. Litecoin 3L gives you 3L of the gains. It's on KuCoin. That's why my link in the description below to KuCoin is amazing. Jump on in today and look, tight moving averages. We jettison where? Up to the 200 SMA. This is a handy trick I keep teaching my students. When the moving averages get tight and the 200 is far apart, and if you can combine it with some other bullish signs, like we already saw Litecoin was going to move. Look at 32% gains. Now we took it out of the flag about 17 or 18, but still gains nonetheless for Litecoin. All right. Litecoin 3L, take advantage of a coin's move by playing a 3L token. Never get liquidated. It is still very high risk. I want to make it extremely clear. I didn't get into 3L tokens till about, at least a couple years of trading, but we can get you going a lot faster than that, at least teach you. And this is how you can short the market. The market's not looking good. You can take what's called a 3S token to the downside. All right. It's always good to take a gander. Like right now, we'll take a look at Bitcoin's 3S tokens and just take a look if there's any bullish signs. This can fight your bias. So look, we found this flag. This flag did break up to the upside. We found that flag. That flag broke up. We were just projecting the next flag. Hadn't got back to the projection, right? Did fall out. Has gone sideways ever since. So what I can look at is the 4-hour does want to make a bit of a move to the upside here. And Bitcoin as well. When I take a, when I gander it, it's getting overbought on the 4-hour time frame. So, boom. And then what I do is I'm going to jump into the dollar index, and now you're going to learn how we do our sauce here in the trading group. It's not just a trade. We don't just jump into a trade. We look at the market. I can see where Bitcoin's going, where Bitcoin dominance is going, where the dollar index is going, where the Tether dominance is going. I put it all together, and we really build a beautiful picture. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. May God bless your souls on this wonderful day. And remember, I'm about to break down how to achieve success. One main key to success. I'm going to break it down for you in a second. It's going to blow your mind. I conceptualized it in the shower how I was going to teach it. I got really excited about this teaching thought process. And some of you may know it. I don't know, but I came up with it in my head, so I think it will be fun. It's a general theory of thought. Super chats, do you put any significance to the 80 SMA? I feel it's just noise. It's just there because I've had it for so long. I guess you could take it out if you want. I agree sometimes, but look, you got to bounce there. You can get bounces. There's a bounce pretty much there. There's a resistance right there on the 80, a resistance right there in the 80. It creates a resistance and a support. Look at that. 80, 80. Break above it, bounce off the 80 kind of in a way there. Bounce off the 80 there in a way. I think every piece of information has its place if your mind can compartmentalize it and take it apart, right? Bitcoin's still getting a bit of a move. 15 minutes showing signs. Can it pump? We already know where the measured move is going. 16,846 if it goes. We also already know the resistance if we can't get above, and we already know where we're going to go if we can't get above and we break down to the resistance. So we kind of see Bitcoin. We got it pretty figured out. Somewhat sideways, low liquidity today. Not buying too much of that pump. So Bitcoin 3S, possibly 23% gains coming out of the 4-hour time frame. 22 on the daily, both don't look good at all. Say, not a great time to open up a short, but you do see the shoulder, the head and the shoulder there. That could flip to 12-hour. 8-hour don't look too bad. 6-hour don't look too bad. 4-hour don't look too bad. Chance this, and again, it's holding above the 200 SMA. If it stays above the 200 SMA, that's a long on the 3 token. So watching this closely. And you can't say that's not an inverted head and shoulder too that could break to the upside. Similar measured move. And if it gets above this point of control, which is staying above right now, stays above this point of control, you're gone, baby. Gone. So, to me, looks like a possible move here with a stop loss in this area or in this area. Looks like a possible move for 23% gain shorting Bitcoin. All right. So I'm watching the short for BTC. It's staying above the point of control. We're very oversold. Again, we could still get a complete dump. It is kind of an M pattern. I'll give you the other I'll give you both sides of the story here. Bit of an M at resistance. We can't get above the zone. You can play the retest there. That would be the safest way to play it. The retest of this trend line or that area. This could very well drop to the downside and we could get that Bitcoin move. Am I long or short right now? Honestly, I wouldn't play either. This is chop to me. I need a better signal. I want to wait it out and see what the 1 hour does. See what the 15-minute does. If I get lack of exhaustion here on the bullers, then I'm going to flip long. Probably by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock. That's my thought process. I'm going to flip short. I'm going to flip long on the short. If that makes any sense. But I'm going to flip short on BTC. All right. So I'm watching this closely. Point of attack possible. Just beginning to weigh my options for what's possible on the day for gains. All right. And if you do this every single day and you stay in tune, it takes high focus, extreme focus. Can't let anything really else in the life like disturb your thought process or your focus. Because after all this, you could still forget and then miss out on the trade. You got to maintain your thought process, what you were planning, how you were planning it, write it down. Right? So my thought process is if we get exhausted on the 1 hour and the 15-minute here for Bitcoin, and I see us not get above these certain levels of support and resistance here, and we start to kind of roll over, it's very likely this short is going to play out, and we're going to hold this trend line and this point of control. If we start to break out fast and we get a pump, which could happen any minute, it's going to change my whole story because it's going to break to the downside. And there's no reason for me to aggressively enter the trade yet till the 15-minute enters into the low point, till the 1 hour begins to show me signs. But right now, it's not too bad, and we are, we're playing okay. So there's some signs here. But I'm just watching this. So there's a possibility if we get rejected by 16,800 areas. Because I know it's a significant area. I know we bounce from it. I know we get rejected from it. Definitely something that we're looking at. Matic short squeeze went long at 75 cents. Okay. My close on my short is bang on 14K, my man. I have a short from 18K where Lifer said insurance short the second time. Might have been the third time. I'm short simply because I want liquidated at 18K. Open a 5X short from 16,800 with liquidation close at 17.8 equals big brain. Wow. Okay. Playing it. What are you talking about? We're long Litecoin yesterday. Yeah. Adam is holding well against Bitcoin. Why, Sam? I mean, Adam has some news. Adam has some just, it's been trending on Twitter too. Adam, baby. I'll tell you what, why I like Adam, why I've been preaching Adam, why I made a video about Adam a long time ago. Top 5 coins to 5 million. Adam was one of them. Why? What makes me love Adam? What makes me want to break down Adam and talk about Adam? So let's take a look at the DXY while I kind of segue us into this. So look, this is beautiful. Look, we're breaking down again from this triangle that I had drawn, right? Had this little mini triangle in here, and I want to break us down all the way down to this area. 103.49, beautiful. Keep coming down. It's attempting to double bottom here on the 4-hour time frame. This is what we don't want. And again, Bitcoin's kind of sitting on this precipice. Again, we don't have the S&P. We don't have the markets open again today, so it's not going to give us, what we want. We're not going to see the movement that we want. I suggest more sideways action or a slow bleed. Or just a quick, they could even just be getting the liquidated people, just going after liquidations. Just up and down. They go to 16.8, they go to 16.5, they go to 16.9, they go to 16.4. You know what I mean? Just playing games. To me, that was a breakdown of that trend. See, bounce. And you lost the trend line for sure. 1 hour time frame wants a bit of a bounce. So here, this is what happens whenever you see something like this. This is a perfect chance to pounce because you saw the drop. 1 hour wants to push back up. Now, if it can V-shape recovery and save itself and get back inside this pattern, then it can be like, okay, it can be like a shoulder ahead and a possible shoulder and bounce out. See what I'm saying? That could be a shoulder and half of the head right there. You see? But it wants to point to the upside. So now you get your resistance out, which is here and about here. And you're like, if you can't drop the resistance, if you can't go lower, right? If you can't drop yourself lower here, you're likely to fall to the downside even further, somewhere down into this area. And that's what we're looking for. So we want to see if we get rejected by the 103.82 area and fall lower to 103.12. We want to see this. We do not want to see us get back in the zone here. All right. And this general bigger collapse of the dollar that we've called. We called the top of this at 114, whatever it was. Can't say we did not. Called this top a reversal on the S&P ever since we have gotten a bit of a move. But the markets have struggled. They haven't given us as much love as the drop in the dollar should have given us, which has been sad. Which has been sad. So S&P futures are open right now, which I didn't think they would be. Weird, but I guess they are. They moved up a dot right now, so they're open. Oh, maybe, are they open? Yeah, they're open slightly. They did move. They're flashing. So we can get a little bit of an idea here. That's a shoulder, head, and a shoulder. We're pushing up on the 1 hour time frame. This suggests we could get a move for Bitcoin. I mean, look at that. S&P could get a nice pump here. Back to 3,900. Again, it has resistance in this area. It needs to get back above, right there where the measured move is. And it's battling a point of control. It got rightly above it with this candle. The point of control is the red line of the VRVP here. Pointing to the upside on the 1 hour. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. How are the S&P futures open if the S&P is closed? They're a day old. Markets are closed today. I'm not crazy, right? I mean, it's New Year's Day observed, if I'm correct. Like the Dow Jones ain't moving. Whatever. I mean, this is somewhat bullish for Bitcoin. The 4 hour is a little spent, though. So again, if the S&P gets up here, makes an M pattern, it's going to be really good for the short that we're talked about. It's going to give you a really good short indication. So I'll put an alert up here on the S&P. I want to get an alert when that dumps. Comes up here and gets rejected by this area. Hits my line. Okay. Are there going to be gains today? I mean, HAPI was our winner chicken dinner. That thing did an amazing job to the upside. Look at this move. No stop loss got hit in the making of this trade. It would continue to the upside. HAPI. And it's actually still holding 63% gains from the cup and handle. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. Shout out to anyone that may or may not have found that awesome trade with HAPI and put their own analysis on it. If it made sense to them and they were able to take advantage of that move. Unbelievable. Happy. HIODBS falling all the way down to the 886 retracement in the Fibonacci. Does it get a move back to the upside, or is the hype over? This hype could die at any time. This high hype. I mean, we took it for what it was. It lasted like almost a couple months, a month or two. Felt like it was longer than that. I mean, quicker than that. But it did start in October, as someone pointed out, and it can kind of continue to roll. It's very weird. I did not expect it. Very shady in liquidity, though. So like, I'm always very weary of the coins, right? Very, you got to just in and out on that. For me personally, it's in and out. If I'm lucky enough to get in, because they're fast moving. Nord made a nice move. Is retesting the 200 SMA, but it's in a bit of a funky pattern there. Looks to be in kind of a cup with a handle in a way. Nord. I don't like the pattern, though. I like the structure doesn't please me. I like a pleasing market structure. I know it sounds weird, but to me, it's all about a pleasing market structure for sure. I want to see something that makes sense, you know. Hi, Mutant 8 Yacht Club had a nice pump, 31%, still holding gains of about 16. Says there could be more gains. 4 hours a bit spent. See, the 4 hour to me is getting a little high on around the market, you know, and that's telling you, that's giving you a sign. It's giving you a sign. Dow Jones Industrial. Take a look at the Dow, which is going to be stuck today, not going to move until tomorrow. Had a flag, went downward with the flag. 4 hours going to open up bearish and look like it may want to take a tumble. Got a bit of a rounded top on the Dow. Not your best sign. Bit of a double top right there so far for the Dow Jones. It's going to have to make some bacon on the beach and get above that zone. The 1 hour, when we open up tomorrow morning, going to want to see this make a bit of a move. That could even be a inverted cup and handle, but it's got to break above 34,221. See that? Or 34,200 at least to remain bullish. The Dow struggling to get above the zone. Look at that inverted cup and handle that broke down. The Dow Jones, baby. The Dow Jones. So Litecoin with the halving in 228 days now. Litecoin will have a halving. Could give it some jump and a pump. All right. 3-day chart just getting started with a very bullish engulfing candle. Just play that. I like to look at the 3-day a lot. It's one of my go-to trading. And are we making one of these? That could give us some extreme insight here to where big, you know, and again, look, tight moving averages, you jettison up to the 200 SMA. Remember, it happens in the 4 hour, could happen here. So Litecoin for a nice move to the upside. 3-day chart. I play it on the smaller time frames, try to find my entry when the 4 hour resets or a bigger level of support and resistance gives me a retest, and then let the 3-day do its thing. But that looks like we could get a bit of a move for Litecoin. It's getting above these resistance areas. Interesting enough, Litecoin back to 110 beans from 75.33, of course, on the 33. How's everybody doing on this second day of 2023? All right. Don't wait. Keep your crypto safe. If you don't have a hardware wallet, Lifer has a link for a TREZOR. Jump on in today. Get yourself a TREZOR Model T. Link in the description below. And $219. And this is where I love to keep a lot of my crypto. I have 3 different TREZOR wallets. I have a one right here, sitting here, just for mini, micro transactions, simple things. Keep a couple $100 on it, And I absolutely love using the TREZOR Touch. It's easy, simple, ready to go. So get yours today. I have one right now in my hand. I'm telling you right now. Become your own bank. It feels amazing. TREZOR Model T. Okay, so I want to break down something that I was just discussing a second ago, something I want to break down. Shout out to the 400 beautiful people on the live, 181 likes, $22 in chat revenue. May God bless each and every one of you for being here. Someone asked, why do I talk fast? Well, number one, I have, I'm a hyper guy, all right? Some say I have like a hyperactive thing going on, and so it is what it is. That's how I get a lot of that hyper energy out, because I need to. So number one, that's the reason. So if you want to know, you can discriminate against me. Anyway, I'm just messing around. But another thing is, I don't want to waste your time. I want to be able to present the information clearly, in a good, organized manner, and in a fashion where you can get in as much as you can in a 2-hour period. If I was like, here's the 200 SMA, and look how the 50 crossed over the 200 SMA, and that's just not how I operate. I operate at a higher energy, so I work at it's all about energy for me. So listen, I want to break down something. I'm going to find a coin that I normally don't even really go over. SWP, swap. Really haven't seen this in months. So listen. Not everything has to be considered a war. All right? And what I mean by that is, right now we say there's a war for your mind. Right? There's a war for your mind. And some people say, well, I don't want to look at it like that. And the only thing is, fine. You're an energy source. You're in the universe. And there's a lot of other energy sources around you. So this is you. you're on this giant earth, right? You're even tiny. You're like that dot. You're even smaller than that. And there's so many energy forces around you. Wind, the way the earth moves, people, right? Chemicals, rain, sleet, snow, your mom, your dad. There's social influences. There's mental influences. There's physical influences. There's energy, vibration, right? And so there is a war for your mind because your mind is an energy source and there's so much around you taking away your focus, wanting you to think, wanting you to do something. So I just want to make it clear, you don't have to look at it in a vicious way, but you do have to fight for what is yours in this world, even yours. What I mean by yours is your centered energy form, what you are bringing into your life, all right? So I want to make that clear. With that being said, I want to talk about how we procure the mind, all right? And how we keep the mind fresh in a state where we can at least control as much of our subconscious as possible. So we live the life that we plan on living and not the life that someone planned for us. I used to go to work because I was told to get my resume together, pick a profession, and go to that job. And so I started doing that. I knew it wasn't right. It went against everything that I knew made me whole, but I did it anyway. This created dis-ease in my life because I started doing things that I knew were subconscious mind was telling me, because I read I read about amazing people, and I'm like, but I never read, maybe at the beginning they did go to work though. But at this point in my life, I had worked enough. I was 36, 37, and I read about a lot of amazing people. By this time, they had started, a lot of them were 21, 22. They started working at the shop. They did this by 25, 27. And I just was also comparing myself to billionaires I was reading about and people that were doing amazing things with their life. And I was like, I'm going to be 40 years old, and I just haven't achieved these amazing things that I would like to achieve, right? So I battled through my brain, which don't compare yourself to anyone. You're on your own journey for whatever reason. God's teaching you what he wants you to learn for what your purpose is. You don't know what that purpose is truly, really. And at one point you begin to feel out what it is, and that's kind of the key to life, learning your purpose. So let me continue here. This is really important. Stay with me. Stay focused in what I'm telling you. Turn off anything else. Keep your mind focused here. So listen, when there's a war for your mind, the word present is so important, okay? You are a present to yourself, all right? You are, all right? And by being in the present moment, you create a present for yourself, and you become the gift, all right? A gift is a present. Now, you can't receive this gift if you're not in the present moment, all right? You can't receive the present. That's why the word present and present are so together, because they're telling you something. There's something in language at all times. So if you were abused, and let's just say 2 hours a day, you catch yourself daydreaming, staring into space, thinking about being abused or the pain you suffered, right? Or you watch movies that associate with it and you go back in time. You literally are removing your brain from the present moment and you're going back into the past. When you're in the past, you are unable to make your future, okay? If you look at your life, this is how I built a walkway. And when I built the walkway, it changed how I built my mind. Because I said, if I can build a walkway, I could build my brain the same way. And I realized how to rebuild my subconscious brain just like I rebuilt the walkway. If that makes any sense to you, I hope it does. So listen, when you're in the past, and then if you worry about the future, I don't have bills for this, I can't get that. If you're worried all the time about how you're going to pay for things in the future, then you can't build a business in the present that can pay for things in the future. Both the past and the future steal from the present moment. The news right now, every day, what they're doing is they're making you worried about the future. They don't want you focused on building your present and giving yourself the gift. All right? I just came up with this right now, the whole gift present thing. I've never said it before. This is epiphany that happens when I'm live with each and every one of you. I swear in my life. But I have an idea. Now here's the idea that I wanted to talk about. So we have the idea that there is a war for your mind, even if you don't want to think it in that manner. So I go back and I think of how would you confuse your enemy? Because if there's a war and someone's trying to take your mind from you, then you need to protect yourself from that, right? So how would you protect yourself from an enemy, right? And so I think about war tactics in ancient times, or even in like and things that I've picked up on watching different movies about history, right? And so say that there was a war like in colonial times, right? Like we had the Minutemen, the Revolutionary War here in America, right? And so we had the forces here of the English, and then behind all these different trees, and there was some hills here, and the colonials could come from here, they could come from there, or they could come from over here, right? And they know that there's somewhere in this area, the English know that this is where they are, right? So what you would do is you would set up, this is a smart idea, right? Would just set up like in the middle of the night, have a guy put a rifle behind a tree, a rifle behind a tree, a rifle, and set up like 20 rifles, maybe even 40 if you can, And you have 2 guys come, and at one point they go and they shoot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And these 2 guys just run around and shooting as many rifles as they can, right? And then they run, and they run away, all right? Deep into the woods, and they make a big cutback. So, of course, the English think there's way more than 2 people here because how many, so they go after the past. The past is what they heard, right? And when they do that, right, they get caught in the present moment. And so, and I thought about this in the shower today. Like, this is what I thought about. And I was like, this is what I want to talk about on the live stream. And it's so key. And it's key about trading, too. If you're worried about trades that are coming, if you're worried about your portfolio and how big it's going to get, but then you're not going to be able to concentrate on the trade in front of you on the present moment. So it's so important. So to throw you off what the news and all these, news stories, all these influences are doing is they're firing a shot in the wrong direction, right? Just like I showed you, making you think everything's over here. So you take your focus off the present moment and you start reading about the past, something that happened last night, something that happened, right? If you spend most of your day today reading about everything that happened yesterday, are you going to do anything today to change your life? No. You're going to spend most of the day reading about the past. So anytime you're in the present and you notice something taking you from the present moment and stealing your gift, which is your gift to yourself of the present, realize that that's something that's going to eventually stop you from achieving your end goal in life because you won't be able to build. Another simple way to put this is I talk about life like it's a little bit of like a mini cabin, a 1-room cabin that you built in the woods, right? And it's simple. And I looked at my life, one day I was like, why am I not achieving what I want? How come I don't have a business that I love? How come I'm not the CEO of my own company? How come I don't invest, 10 years ago, massive? How come how come I'm not making money on the market? How come I don't have multiple income? How come all these questions? And I said, well, are you building a house, Sam? Are you building the house? Is there a house being built? And I'm like, and it's like, how do you build a house? Well, you put a brick here, and then you put another brick here. And are there any bricks? And I would ask myself, and I'm like, no, today I did the same thing as yesterday. I'm not building anything. So finally, I was like, okay, start a channel, start a YouTube channel, you got to start something to get something. And if you were thinking the whole time about how hard it is to build the roof, and worried about the roof and how you're going to get money for the roof, blah, 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 just start the foundation first and start building the foundation. Somehow, some way, the material for the roof will come when you get there. All right? But if you worry so much about the roof and you don't even start the first thing, you'll never have a house. All right? This is important. This is so key to going where you want to go in life. This is so key to what I teach to everyone in my trading group. And this has a lot to do with your subconscious mind because your subconscious mind is controlling what you do in the present moment. And if it's been wired the wrong way because it's been bombarded by TV, news, and influence, and you don't have enough time in nature and you don't take time to really step back and find out who you truly are and work with yourself and find out what you want to do with life, then again, you will be taking the gift away of the present moment. And so through subconscious mind healing and meditating, we can really begin to build ourselves into a whole new way of living. And we can change the way we think about ourselves. We can change who we really are. We can rebuild this process here. And we can go back into the present moment and be there at all times. I love to teach. What I'm doing right now is my passion. Explaining this information is so key. I went through these trials. I was unable to build a house for years. I looked at bricks on the ground and could never put them together in a metaphorical sense, right? Then I started putting bricks together and it felt amazing. And then each brick I put together and then I built a house. Then I built another house. Now I know how to build a home. You see what I'm saying? Now I understand the power of my subconscious mind was blocking me the whole time from doing what I needed to do in the present moment. All right. That's my spiel for today. I put a lot of kind of thought process into that this morning. Hit me out of nowhere. I hope it's something that can, I'm also trying a new theory in science, the way I teach and talk. So I hope I'm getting somewhere with everybody. And I hope this information is cutting through. Buy my eggs from a farmer for the last 7 years. Prices never change. That's pretty awesome. This is the right thinking, but this for normal people not understandable. Some here are still in the past. Desire, dedication, discipline, determination equals the lifer. Thank you, Sam. This really helps. Love the energy. They went up for $5 a dozen to the store brand. Dude, you guys are talking about the price of eggs and I'm breaking down subconscious mind theory? That's insanity. What house are you building? A solid house, a sinking house, or a shaking house? You're funny. Olympian athletes drink goat milk. Goat milk is good. Oh, yeah. Alpha brain, cognitive support works. Watching TV is the biggest mistake I see people make. You got to learn to look at the market by what it is. Teaching your students the mindset that you need is as important as a system. Rewiring how you think and view reality is crucial to making correct decisions. Anyone notice the price of eggs skyrocket? They are trying to hit the poor people where it hurts. Oh, that's why he said the egg. Okay, yeah. Affordable nutrition. Eggs are the cheapest complete protein and nature's multivitamin. Yeah, I agree. You go to the farm and just grab $5 eggs at the farm. I mean, they've been $5 for 10 years. I mean, to me, this has nothing to do with church, Kerry Coates. I didn't even mention God once when I talked about what I just broke down. What I'm showing you is how to really change the way you think so you can get to another level in life. Sam, I'm a carpenter. It all started learning one nail at a time 25 years ago. Daniel DeBolt. And you got Bolt in your name. That's kind of funny. He is you're like a working with your hands, dude. My first brick was you, Sam. And have some lined up. Shout out to Boosted Frequency, man. May God bless you, brother. Look, you got the name to go for it and to show for it. So again, today, I don't see huge gains coming out of nowhere, honestly. I mean, anything is possible at all times. Tomorrow we'll wake up and, of course, some coins are going to pump. But you're waiting for Bitcoin to kind of find its way. Litecoin is kind of the winner chicken dinner right now. Look at that 3-day chart like we talked about. So we went over some long-term ideas for Litecoin. Broke down where I believe Bitcoin's going to go. Talked about the entire market cap of cryptocurrency. Talked about the dollar index. Showed you the signal I'm looking for on the S&P to go short. Showed you a Bitcoin short as well that I'm watching. And just really kind of broke down all the things that I'm looking at today. Shout out to Sean McDonough. Shout out to I used to build Navy decoys in underwater vehicles, but crypto is more interesting to me. I see a lot of people losing faith in crypto and saying it's a whole scam. And that so we are losing people because of them following the media. It's okay. It's okay. That's what you want. You don't want assets to look amazing when it's time to get in. You want people not to pay attention. These are the years when the people that pay attention reap the benefits in 2024 and 2025. Actually, in Sam's hood, before I left Massachusetts last year, my man, where did you move to? Sam, what do you think about, I don't want to say the name here on this channel. I'm going to keep it clean. You know what I mean? But if you go to my Twitter, you can find out. You can check it on Twitter. Everyone who says crypto is a scam will be buying the top. He's funny. They'll be our exit liquidity. He's right, though. Yep. Shout out to CNC Ireland. Shout out to Love Learning. When you join the 99 trading group for $99, you receive the Life Revision trading course for $60. Let the language of the charts. Email cryptolifers@gmail. Achieve your dreams. Thank you. Florida, Tampa. See, yeah. How do you like it, man? How long did you live in Massachusetts? And now you live in Tampa? Because we're going to move to Florida. And I just want to hear, give me your honest opinion, man. I'm really going to take it pretty to heart. So I want to know, how long did you live in Massachusetts? If you don't mind me getting personal. If you don't want to answer, I completely get it. It's a public forum. And how long have you lived in Florida now? I'm flying up for my mom's B-Day, hopefully in a few days. I can get my dog ability to jump on a plane. Cool. Super chats. How do you scan the markets? Yeah, I must know we are thinking of moving to Florida. So you lived in 41 years for Mass. Okay. How long you been in Florida now? UMass Dartmouth area. Okay. Beautiful area too. I'm in Miami. I lived in Mass as well. Wow, so you lived in Massachusetts, and after you moved to Florida, you're just like, what was I doing? Fort Lauderdale's beautiful. Got a lot of people from Florida on the live stream, too. I think there's like more people from Florida than Massachusetts on the live. I really do. How many people are here from Florida? Let me know. How many people are here from Massachusetts? Let me know. Let's have a battle. Soon, Lifer will have a referral link for moving to Florida. Yeah, I'll be like, dude, I have the real estate agent, whoever you need, hook you up, get you going. And they'll give me a cut of everyone that moves to Florida. Orlando, Portugal, Boca Raton, Florida, Clearwater. Wow, Miami. Mass. One Mass, like 12 Miamis, Miami. Moving to Winnipeg. Call me a glutton for punishment. I went to Mass to Florida and back out to another cold state again. My man. And how do you feel, man? What made you want to leave Florida? Like, what made you want to leave Florida? Shout out to the 222 likes, $22 in chat revenue. You got to love that 22222 action. And a 1233, baby. No Winnipeg, don't do it. Winnipeg sounds cold, baby. Born in Miami-Dade County, baby. Crypto surfer, man. Pembroke Pines. Need to buy that ranch for a lifer community. Okay. My goal is 3 timeshares, one in Florida, Virginia, and then Massachusetts. Then I can hump around and rent it. Okay. Lived in Mass from 1997 to 2017. Wow. From Mass, but lived in Cocoa Beach for a couple years. So what do people think? I want to hear like someone, we've been looking into Florida, but I really think we should have moved 10 years ago. Nah, don't worry about it, man. Just make your moves. Eggs are too expensive now. Was at the store yesterday. Dozen eggs cost almost $6. That's not bad. I've been paying $6 for eggs for a long time, man. I buy organic eggs for like $7 sometimes at Whole Foods or whatever. $6.50, man. I was doing that when I was broke. I always paid for organic food back in the day, whether it was good or not. South Dakota here. Another 13 and 18 inches of snow coming today and tomorrow. Born and raised. I love it. He just keeps going through it. I was born in Massachusetts. I love it too. I don't mind it. I really don't. But it's about being outside with your kids. In Massachusetts, you spend so many days inside. Even if you have something fun to do, the storm, it gets dark at like 4:30 in the afternoon. And it's just not as easy to get out and get things done, And so you lived in Florida, we'd be outside, we'd be bike riding, we'd be all over the place. It would be absolutely amazing. And so that's kind of, what I'm looking for when I move to Florida, is just being outside more, taking advantage of being outside way more than I used to. Bike riding more, being outside with my kids, taking my family to the beach, watching sunsets, How can I join my trading group? Join the trading group by emailing cryptolifers@gmail, or easily, can one of, what we should always do? One of the admins, please, one of the Blue Crew, should always post the Discord link here and pin it. It should always be posted and pinned. I think you can post it and I can pin it, or maybe I have to pin it, but I'll do it right now. Join the trading group is super easy. Just hit the link here to the Discord, and you can join right away. You can also go to cryptolifer.com. Cryptolifer.com, which is even easier, right? I bought the domain for a reason. Cryptolifer.com and check it out. Yeah, the snow about to get crazy in South Dakota for sure. I live in a resort-style apartment, about $2,000 a month, 1 bedroom. Costa Rica, 0 crypto tax, man. Posted numerous times every stream. Thank you. Appreciate that. You probably do. Thank you. See, I don't even know. It's like, we do that every time. Thank you. Sorry, man. I apologize. Message me one time, Sam. I can show you where I live. It's a gated community with cameras, super safe. Yeah, we want to do the same thing. Move into a nice gated community, chilling, What's your name in the Discord type, Crow, man? Sounds like I need a house in Costa Rica. Pura Vida. I know, right? Pura Vida, man. So yeah, I'm just talking here because the market's wonderful. Absolutely love it. You know, ooh, TRIAS looks like it's going to do some damage on the 3-day chart here too. Yeah, shoulder head into shoulder. You seen that? Who loves me better than you, crypto? Kind of a cup with a half handle there, another half handle. So funny though, you got that lack of bearish momentum to the 3-day chart. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed to pump, but you're getting some movement there on TRIAS. Something that gets me going. Definitely start kind of paying attention a little bit. What's your view about the Cardano bottom? I mean, it's really up to the Bitcoin bottom. The weather's so nice there, though, lucky ducky. Yeah. Crypto canes are not taxable in Costa Rica. That's amazing. Come on, lifer, don't go lock yourself away behind gates from all the lifer community. Oh, come on, man. I'm not going to do that, but I definitely am going to live in a gated community. It's just easier. It's just so much easier. The two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. Isn't that interesting? Mark Twain, man. Love learning. I love you for saying that. You just like changed my whole thought process today. Portugal, I have no crypto taxes. Also, you can bring things with Bitcoin. Also, we are on the European Union. You have the safest country in Europe. Also, a lot of sun and hot weather. I know, that's where some of my people that work with me work. They live in Portugal. I appreciate your energy, man. Shout out to Satoshi Nakamoto, man. Satoshi, I knew you were going to show up. I knew it. I knew he was alive, baby. I knew he was alive. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm thinking of Portugal as I'm across the pond in sunny Northern Ireland. Hey, that's where a lot of the Scottish and the Ireland, they jump over to Portugal. Why not? Portugal is Europe's Florida. See? I get it. I get it now. Jump on over and get some Florida action. Yeah. So, Jamie, you live in Florida, basically. It would be nice to go where no crypto tax, but as a U.S. citizen, you can't get away from taxes. No, even if you live somewhere else. Until you denounce your citizenship, you got to actually go all the way with it. Could TRIAS actually make these gains? 57% from $1.40. TRIAS is a beautiful coin. Really good project. Something that I would believe in long term, actually, compared to most. Wild is something I really like. Long term, I want to find the bottom for this coin, and honestly, this is something I would scoop up and hold for about a year to 2 years and just make a boatload of money off of. I think Wild and Theta are going to be beautiful moves coming in 2 years from now. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying should be taken as financial advice. These are my own ideas, but I love Wild. I like the website. I like the team. I believe they're here long term. No scams, no grimy so far. They've been clean, and they continue to build. They came out with some game footage recently that looked amazing, and I like what I'm seeing for Wild. Now, the chart's horrible, and I don't really care where it is. I'm looking at the overall bottom. I just want to find bottoms. I want to put $500 10 or 20 times, put in 5 to 10K into this coin and just slowly build it out. And then when it gets up to some big number, 120, 200K, sell it. All right. I live in Portico, Florida. You're funny. This group is insane. Shout out to Kevin Baker in the house. I rode it all the way till it was wondering where I was, and the driver dropped me off in a sketchy little neighborhood and said, no mas. You're funny. Rich have a trick to not pay taxes, something to do with creating an entity. I just forgot the trick. Don't talk about taxes on YouTube, man. And not, I just go to a professional and pay your taxes, Yeah, Mark Moss makes sense. I think LDO will be a big gainer based on their lending. Possibly Lido Dow, yeah. Scooby-Doo lives in Florida. Yeah. New game on Wild looks amazing. Shout out to DK in the house. Shout out to Jamie. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. We're getting through these holiday days. Kids are still home from school. I think my kids are home from school tomorrow. My kid is home from school tomorrow and the next day. My one schooled kid. I think that's insane. They don't go back to school till Wednesday. She was sick the week before, so she was out an entire week. She hasn't gone to school in 3 weeks and 2 days. It's insane. Damn it, a few minutes behind. I was buffering for a while. That's crazy. I will park my lifer yacht in there. Please do. Please do. Fidel, man, it's been a long time. Fidel, why are you ignoring me, Fidel? What's going on, man? Why are you doing that to me? No, I'm just messing up. I'm just messing with you, bro. Laura hosting yard parties. Oh, yeah, Laura's a baller. Laura don't play. Laura has won some, like, events or, little things that I do, and I've always, anytime I try to bless her with some bread, she's always told me to give it to somebody else. She's, like, such a sweetheart. Go to a pro and pay your taxes. What every rich man ever said to the poor man. Shame on you. You're funny, man. Shame on you, man. That's funny. Hey, man, they said it to me, and I was a poor man. So I was in the same boat, and I found my way out. And my dad didn't teach me any of this stuff. I found it all on my own. So I know things my dad doesn't know. My dad never had a business of his own. I'm the first male in the family in the history of my known last name that I know of. I mean, maybe my grandfather had some side business. My big grandfather had a side business. He did it on his own, too. So that's not true. My actually dad, that's not true, too. My dad did, he did real estate. So, like, towards the end of his life, like small apartments. But my dad always dreamed of having a restaurant or owning his own business, but he never did. And so I made it a point to be like, man, and he used to say it to me, like, I should have, woulda. And I was like, and so my whole life, I heard my dad say, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, donna. And I was like, you know what? I am gonna, woulda, gonna do it. And so I dreamed of it since I was a young kid. Thoughts on Victoria VR daily chart. Jealousy does not contribute to wealth and success. It's a negative emotion and keeps you back. Always, yeah. Thoughts on Victoria VR daily chart. Let's take a look at VR daily chart. Thing is beat to the ground, bro. Like, you're gonna get a resurgence of this whole, To me, you're looking for rounded bottoms. Rounded bottoms pay the bills. This is going to be the year of a slow, sideways, rounded bottom. We get out June, July, maybe November, September 2023. Crazy 2023. Same, I'm the only one in the family that took the leap away from the man and left the sheeple life. To the moon, Sammy. Fidel waiting on those pancakes. Bangers, bull run. 4.0, right? The VR chart looks like GALA. And the 3-day chart could get a bounce, but look, these bounces are short-lived. But even in these little moves, I mean, there's moves to be had in here, right? That's going to be your next resistance. It's just, you're looking to accumulate coins in the long term now that you think are really, and we got to find a bottom. We got to watch Bitcoin, play shorts and longs, do our thing. Sometimes it's Bitcoin shorts and longs for a couple days. Then I go back. Then it was the high coins. We're always going to find a way, all right? Depending on what the market gives us. We don't force trades. We see what the market gives us and we trade it. I'm here to look for what the market gives you every single day, and that's the key. That's the key. That's what the trading group's for, is to use our scanning capabilities and to, find out what we're looking at every single day. I never take BSC season for granted again. I know, man. Thoughts on using anger and jealousy as motivation? I think those are horrible ways to use motivation completely. I think they eat you up and they're negative. See, the key is to be of a high frequency. The highest frequency you are, the easier you can pull something into your life and begin to bring in what you want. You begin to co-create. The higher your frequency, the more you can co-create, right? That's the key, all right? So the more you co-create, the higher your frequency. So when you do anything that lowers your frequency, the harder it is to create your reality. And the harder it is to change your subconscious mind. So you don't want to be doing things that are low frequency, which is anger and jealousy. I would never use those for any motivation at all. Pointless. They hurt you in the long run. Like anything that hurts others hurts you. Someone said to me, the first person you hurt when you insult somebody else is yourself. Right? Because you're lowering your frequency. So when you let a low frequency person lower your frequency, you've played the victim. And you can't play the victim. You can't blame others for how you're behaving. Okay? I'm this because you do that. No. I'm this because I choose to do that in my reality. This is the way I co-create. I'm creating my reality this way. I feel happy today because I choose to be happy. Because I choose to be grateful. Because I choose to wake up and say, you know what? Thank you for everything I've had in this life, right? That's the point. That's the key. I don't know. That's the story, right? You can't think straight with anger. Jealousy, the cousin of greed. Best to keep both at bay. Transmute them to love. Shout out to my man Arthur This guy talks in knowledge. Arthur Farquhar, see that? How high do you think GALA will go next? Bull run. I mean, that's a question I don't know. A lot of times they do revisit their all-time highs. You know, maybe $1.60. That would be great, right? Do 160x. It could go to zero and turn to nothing. They could get hacked. A founder could leave, like we've been seeing lately, and this could go dump even more. That's your measured move, but that's a negative sign. So it's when the measured moves start getting negative, you're likely starting to form a bit of a bottom. That's another kind of, that was like a common sense thing I started doing in the last bottom. You know, no one taught me. I just being like, well, if it can't hit the measured move, like if it's physically impossible in the realms of reality, then what, right? Then what? Follow me on Twitter at CryptoLifer. I'd greatly appreciate it. Let's get a fun tweet going here. No. Funny. Do you believe the media about cryptocurrency? Do you believe the media about cryptocurrency? Let me know how you feel about that. Do you believe the media about cryptocurrency or anything at all? Funny, right? Do you believe the media about cryptocurrency or anything at all? Send now. I want to know that's got to be a fun tweet to read tonight. And I'll read all the answers tomorrow. If you want me to read your answer, please play it in there. Put it in the comment section. Please retweet, like, and let me know how you feel about this. I'm going to go over this tweet tomorrow during the live stream. It's going to be a blast. Honestly, I have so many decisions to make that it's easier to let other people make the decisions. So, So I want to see this rounded bottom for GALA. That's what I'm looking for here. Okay. Trying to find like how cake at 312 is amazing if you think about it. Cake is one of the strongest assets in the game, in my humble opinion. But I just want to show you how what rounded bottoms are. Like, see, this is what we're looking for. Bear runs and you're dumping, you're in this like nasty cycle. We got a pump, we got this nasty dump, and then cake would start to take off like you read about. If you looked at it deeply, like on the 4-hour time frame, there was a cup and handle there that we were able to play. I'm going to go all the way back in time. But I'm just showing you how assets turn from crappy bearish assets to beautiful bullish assets and how it begins. So like it all began here with these, and so we studied this and my whole group's been through this. And we watched price action go from 2019 to garbage to 2020, and then we saw the bull run. And we watched these price actions begin to shape. October of 2020, November of 2020, this is the time to get in. All the buys I made here were 20x, 25x, 50x. They were huge. All the buys in this area from October to November, maybe even a little bit into December if you could take a nibble. Same thing with Cardano, right? So I've been here before. I can teach you this again. I can show you the way. And this is why I'm going to be able to see the signals of when a bull market turns into a bear market. It's going to be apparent to me. Here's Cardano, 2018. Dumps, right? Beautiful bear market, a bull market. Dumps all the way down, keeps dumping. And then we have to find out, we have a bear market, right? From November 2018 to December for 2 years. It's a 2-year long bear market here on the 5-day chart. Okay? 2-year long cup. Then we slowly build out. And it literally starts, it always seems to start in November to December, the build out. All right? Now this was after the halving here. The halving here was here in this area, May of 2020, right about here. And then you can see the appreciation of all the assets after the halving. So you look at this and you do an analysis and you say, when's the next halving? May of 2024. And you say that's when the bull should begin to appreciate out of the, And so you look at something like this. And you see? And whether it's here or something, you're going to see the long-term indications of where the bottom is. This is how these things work. I've been through it over and over again. Most people will not be able to handle this. But we're going to find awesome little trades throughout. We're going to find awesome opportunities. And we're going to learn so much. And this is going to be the key. Whoever sticks with me is going to come out of this understanding what we found already to be true. And then they're going to be able to make a boatload on the run up. All right? And then they're going to be able to do it again in 2028. Okay? And this is just going to be the life. Over and over again. Are you ready? Can you handle it? Remember, I was back here. I was you right here. If you're just getting in, if you've been in the market 2 to 3 years, this was me back here. February of 2016. I'm not even on the chart. And I started to learn my cycles, and now I'm so deep in. Soon it'll be 10 years, right? 3 years from now, 10 years I've been in the game. I find that insane. That's nuts to me. I just got started. 3 years from now, I have been in crypto for 10 years. I find that absolutely insane when I think about it. So understand these ideas. I've never put this out. Like, this is like, today we're doing amazing stuff. I hope you're loving it. We're going away from just, look at this coin and look at this car. Anyone can do that. Anyone can do that. I mean, not anyone, but I mean, that's one part of it all. This is the bigger section. Can you zoom out and realize where you are in a market? That's the key. And I like how them coming up with some footage gave them a little bit of a move. This is key for me. 23 to 28 cents. It's a nice it's a nice almost 25% gainer for wild. That's wow, baby. All right. January 17th will be my first crypto birthday. Amazing. There you go. I put magnets on the charts, them cakes. Now, I mean, everything's going to be KYC on another level. I don't mind it, honestly, and I'll tell you why. Because they're going to come get you no matter what, so you'd rather it's just so much easier to play by the rules at the beginning. I'm just telling you. Until the rules change, and I know I sound like a fairy, I get it, but I fight the system from within. I don't fight the system from without, because, I don't even really explain how I do it because, it's so subtle, I don't want you to see it. Absolutely not. I don't believe the media about anything. They're all owned by the same people. The media is fed for a reason, and it's not to inform, it's to brainwash. I trust what they say as much as I trust Zero, honey. Legacy, yeah. What will return the better ROI in 2023? Crypto, stocks, bonds, precious metals. Oh, crypto for sure. I believe, look at that, 100%. One vote. No, but I have many friends that make money because they all ever heard about it was FTX downfall. Yep. Inverse indicators. Yep. You missmelled propaganda machine. That's funny. I love this guy. That's awesome. Thank you for the love. Appreciate that. Thank you for everybody watching. 317 viewers. Appreciate that for jumping on in and checking out that stream. Yeah, COVID made me start my own business and become a self-made man. Thank you. I pray to God for strength. He sent me more problems to make me stronger. Amen. I mean, that's awesome. Big Metaverse project, TCG 2.0. Very, very early. I was hearing about that TCG. I'll have to do my own deep dive on it, though, before I really go further on the show about it. All right. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to run out. Last couple days with my kids before they go to school. And we're back to regular life. Stock market opens and we're ready to kick our tees in again. But everyone, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you are already doing the right thing. Remember, I do have pants on. I almost didn't, but at the last minute I decided, I do have pants on. Hold on, watch me fall on this thing. It's so unsteady. But I do have pants on. And I tuck my shirt in. Alright? So don't play me. Don't play me. Alright? Everybody, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit a bell for notifications so you can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, sorry, that should have been turned towards me the whole time. Would have been a little better, a little more intimate. If you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Remember, crypto is life. Stay motivated. You can, you will, you are the best. I hope you got some knowledge out of today. I hope you learned something, and I hope you're on your way to achieving your beautiful dreams in life. I love you all. Remember, I could pass away tonight. Tomorrow, you may never see me again. You never know. Not to be morbid, but I'm just saying, every single day is a blessing. Treat it as such, and be in the present moment as much as you can. I love you all. Enjoy the time that you have right now in front of you, because it's all you have. Have a wonderful day. Be safe. God bless. And I'll see you on the next live stream. Thank you for being here. Gratitude to everybody. Stay blessed, and I'll see you again. Appreciate you all.